It's Street Fighter time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today I'm going to have a look at the Storm Collectibles SDCC 2017 exclusive. That's a mouthful. Hot Ryu. Now a little bit of a background. I hear a lot of people being like, oh, why is this called Hot Ryu? Well, when the game came out, Capcom did the skin, and they also did a special version for Street Fighter actually, the Hot version, that featured Ryu and Chun-Li in their respective Hot costumes on the cover with also the skins in the game. And that's why they call them Hot Ryu. I'm not sure though, it might have been even the internet when they showed pictures of this character, of this skin. Everybody was like, oh, is that Hot Ryu? Because I mean, he's shirtless and he has a beard. Now, as I've mentioned before, this is an exclusive, but I kind of have a hunch this is not gonna stay an exclusive, and I want to elaborate on that at the end of the video. I don't have any hard proof, but I'm just saying there's some things floating around where I'm just saying like, okay, right, you're not gonna keep this an exclusive. And also, the main reason for that, which I want to talk about right now, is because there's so much that went into this. At first, I wasn't gonna get this guy, because I was like, okay, they're gonna make Ryu, which we already have, they're gonna take his gi away, they're gonna give him a new head sculpt, and they're gonna call it a day, right? No, there's a lot more going on. But before we even go in, let's have a look at the size of this guy. He stands at just shy of 18 centimeters to the top of his head, which means he's about, well, it's more like 17.5, so he is about 7 inches tall. He still basically has the same look as he had on the regular release with, of course, the beard and everything. But that's not a bad thing. What's very cool, actually, there's a lot of scars. Well, a lot. He has some scars here and there in his body, so that's already some added detail over there. You have a small armband over here. Once again, that's a new detail. He also comes with taped fists, other than his regular gloves, where there's some really nice shading, and the molding also looks very good. But that's not enough, because we have some more detail in the pants, and it actually ripped over here and down there, and even down here. So that's what I'm saying. And you have this little piece over here, and that's what I mean when I say there's a lot that went into this. All of these new details that you didn't have in the regular release. Yeah. Now let's have a look at the articulation. I mean, it's still basically the same thing, so if you're familiar with the regular re-release, yeah, there's nothing here that's really changing. Other than the detail, of course. So the head is still on the ball joint into pack combination, and the entire torso is soft plastic, so you will see as the neck is bending to your will, you can go side to side and back and forth, and basically all the way around. Also, his headband is just on a peg, so you can swing that around. Shoulders are on these big hinges, so you can bring them up all the way once again, and it pegs out. I mean, let me show you. It is on a hinge that goes into a ball that pegs into the torso area. So you can rotate that around, and you have the hinge over here, and you have this piece to cover it all up, which is nicely molded. And of course, like I said, torso soft plastic, so it bends with it. We have a bicep swivel, double hinged elbow, and a fist that's on a ball pack, as you can tell over here, so you can rotate it around. And this piece is not connected anywhere, so you can just move that down, move that up, articulate, move it down, hide the articulation. Perfect. Now as for the entire torso area, you have a pack. Let me see, I got it back a little bit. It's packed in the chest area going into the abdomen, so you can bring them back and forth, side to side, and all the way around. Get some wiggle motion out of it. With the crotch piece, it's pretty much the same, back and forth, a little bit more limited, side to side, and goes around. The one thing I feel like this diaper part over here is a little small. I mean, it looks good. The problem is when I articulate them, I kind of get the lag over it, which I do not want. The legs, as you can tell, are on ball packs. You have a thigh swivel that it's kind of stuck, and it's making that weird noise. It's making that weird clicking noise, which I do not like. But they basically go out almost all the way to the side and forth and back. Of course, the entire diaper piece is soft plastic. As you can tell, it bends immensely, but it's like, it's really weirdly misplaced. I need to fix that later. Have double hinged knees. They go up almost all the way, and they look very good. I like how they are molded and also painted, so it doesn't stick out too much. And then the foot is once again on the ball with a hinge combination. Also rotates around over here. The other side didn't. So I guess that one's stuck. Oh no, now it kind of works. So yeah, it's kind of stuck. Rotates over here, and then can bring the foot back and forth. And also side to side, and straight off, actually. Well, you have a toe hinge, finally. Goes up pretty nicely. Does it also go down? No, this one doesn't go down. We don't need that. And there you go. You want to know what's also pretty cool about this dude? He has different accessories than the regular release. I mean, first of all, you have the obvious different faces, open mouth, gritting teeth, open hand, kind of like a Hadouken also hand, with more of a posing hand on this one, and a grabbing hand on these ones. And then we have the lightning effect for his fists, which happens in the game when he activates his V-trigger. And other than getting a regular Hadouken that he throws, he actually gets a Hadouken that he charges up in his hands. Remember, the regular release Ryu had just a fireball that already is in motion, which is already shot. And this one's charging up, which I actually like a lot more for posing. And of course, as all of them dudes, he comes with his Street Fighter base with the arm to hold them. And one more fun fact, the back of the box actually comes with his stage, but with the night version. If you know Street Fighter V, certain levels have a night and day feature, and you got this one for Ryu, so they made this one, even though he has with the regular release, you have the stage by day, which once again brings me to the point why I think this is not gonna stay an exclusive. And of course, you gotta have the comparison of these two guys. I mean, first of all, which I kind of wondered when I looked at the head sculpt, the hair also looks completely different. I mean, not completely, but it's a lot more spiky over here, while it's just hanging down with the Hot Ryu version, of course, like I said. You have the taped fists other than the gloves. Big difference over there. And the headband also looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit longer, a little bit more rugged. And it doesn't fly out to the side like this one. The belt looks pretty much the same, a little bit of color difference here and there, but that's something that will probably change from figure to figure, you know, quality control. Some will come out with that, others won't come out with that. There's also a lot more shading going on in his pants. So just, honestly, seems like this one's better. I mean, that's something you gotta decide for your own. I mean, obviously this is the classic, regular Ryu design, and this is something else for the costume packs and whatnot. But regardless, let me tell you why I don't think it's gonna be an exclusive any longer. Because, first of all, as you can tell, there's a lot that went into this. Whole different mold, different background, and art style, box, whatnot. For exclusive, you usually get just a repaint. I mean, they did that for Noob Saibot, for the Mortal Kombat line. They just took Scorpion, did a repaint, and done. And that's mostly the case for exclusive. Now, the main reason why I think this is not gonna stay an exclusive is because they've already shown at SDCC themselves that you have a variant of this with the black pants. So you're doing variants of this character. So either this will just be a regular release, or at least the variant will come out with the black pants at some point. If you're interested in this figure, I'm telling you not to rush out right now. I'm thinking, okay, I could be wrong, but I don't think this is gonna stay an exclusive. It's just, there's just way too much, and they don't have like the copyright problems like NECA has with the Turtles. So it's all in the green for them to just release this guy as a regular figure, and that's why I don't see why they would keep all of this work and just tuck it away as an exclusive when they can basically sell this and will sell well. Because that brings me to the final thoughts. I do 100% recommend them. Personally, I think this design is really cool. It's a nice addition to the Street Fighter collection from Storm Collectibles, and it still has the same quality as all the other ones, and I just really like it. So there you go, recommend it, and that's gonna do it. As usual, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, feel free to hit it up with a like, and maybe subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever Hot Ryu wants. Sexy.